Howdy folks, this is the Indiana Kid here, and hopefully you can hear me throughout the wind going on around here. And today I'm going to do a little demonstration of my Colt 1860. It's the Army model and .44 caliber, and this was the one of the prominent handguns used during the Civil War. This is Colt, like I said, so it was invented and patented by Samuel Colt in 1860, .44 caliber, and mostly was used and ordered by the Federal Union Army. So this, along with the 1858 Remington, were used mostly on the northern side, also on the southern side if they were able to confiscate some of the northern weapons. So that was six rounds in .44 caliber. Basically, I'm going to reload this for you and kind of show you what they had to go through during a war to reload and to shoot these handguns. This is called a cap and ball revolver, and you'll see why it's called that in just a second. I'll compare it to a more modern day cartridge revolver. So let's go ahead and get started. And first, we have our powder flask here, and full of pistol powder. And we're going to hold the pistol kind of like this. We're going to load each cylinder. This little spout here has about 27 grains of powder. Usually a more higher charge, you would probably want to put about 35, but it helps with the recoil a little bit when you put a lower charge, and it saves a little on powder in the long run. So there's this lever here that I'm going to push with my thumb, and that'll open up this valve. Put my finger on top, shake the powder down into the powder measurer, let go of that little lever with my thumb, come back up, and then that spout here is full of powder, and I'm going to dump in my first chamber. And that's my first chamber full of powder. So I'm going to do that real quick to all 6 chambers. And usually, if I'm really trying to hurry up with this, it takes about 2 minutes for me to reload 6 shots. I'll also show you in a second that they made spare cylinders for these revolvers, because since they took so long to reload, and if you were in the middle of a battle and you don't want to take exactly 2 minutes to load during a fight, you can swap out cylinders with a loaded cylinder and fire off 6 more rounds. I'll show you that, how to do that in just a second. Next, I'm going to take the .44 caliber round ball, which is looks something like this. This is a .44. See if I can, kind of like that. It's compared to a .45. Well, actually, I got it right here. It's compared to a .45, modern day .45 cartridge, like that. This goes to a pistol that I used to have, a .45 long Colt. That's what you see used in the movies, a lot of the Western movies. .45 long Colt, which came out after the cap and ball when they figured out how to make a cartridge, so it would take less time to load. But that was kind of a side note. So here we're going to place each ball on each chamber, and this loading lever right under the barrel comes down, and you're just going to smash the ball down into the cylinder. So you can kind of like prop it on your leg and smash it right down. Then you're going to put the next one right on there, do the same thing, smash it right down into the chamber. And you're going to do this same thing on all 6 chambers. You want to compact them down there nice and tight, pack the powder down. And then the next thing, after you do that, it's kind of a three-step process for these revolvers. The next thing is you're going to take percussion caps, and hopefully you can see this. And they look something like that. They're little copper caps, and they have explosives in them. They just kind of make a spark. And basically they serve the purpose to, you set each percussion cap on one of these nipples right here, on the back of the cylinder. So you're just going to set it right on there, kind of push it on there nice and tight. And basically when the hammer comes down and hits that percussion cap, it shoots a spark through the hole of that nipple into the chamber of the cylinder, ignites the powder, which obviously explodes the powder inside the cylinder, which shoots the ball out of the barrel. And it sounds really complicated, which it is, and that's why there's sometimes a lot of misfires. Sometimes the cap won't go off, but they've made it pretty good with today's modern resources to make these pretty reliable compared to back then in the Civil War. So I'm just going to put six of these on the back of each chamber, on each nipple, and that is the final loading process. So now an actual little other technique you can use to make sure that the caps are on back of the nipple tight enough, you can kind of set the hammer down and kind of push on the hammer just to make sure they're on there nice and snug. They don't fall. It seems like they would fall off, but they don't fall off the nipples if you put them on there nice and snug. Just like that. And now we have our loaded pistol. So it looks something like that. You can see the balls in the chamber. We got our percussion caps on there. And a way you can swap out cylinders, like I was telling you before, is this wedge right here. You can kind of see that on either side. You simply push on that wedge, and then you're going to pull out till it has that little click, and it just hardly is in there. And you're going to pull the barrel off, just like that. And you can slide that off, the cylinder off, and you can have another spare cylinder. I have a cylinder pouch up at the house, and you can get another spare cylinder loaded on there that's already loaded, just like our loaded one right here. Push the barrel back on, and then put the wedge back in place there. And that's how you would do a loaded cylinder, an extra loaded cylinder, and just within a matter of about 10 seconds you can have another 6 rounds instead of taking another 2 minutes to reload. And then basically a technique that the cavalry used, after you fire each shot, they would come back behind their head and cock it again, so that would let the percussion cap fall out, because sometimes with the Colt model revolvers, the percussion cap could fall down into the mechanics inside the revolver and jam it, and once you're jammed, it's pretty much history. You're going to have to disassemble the whole gun, get into the interior, and get that loose cap out of there. So that's kind of one reason why you'd cock it back over your head, just for safety, that it would fall out and it wouldn't mess with the inside of the gun. So we'll fire off another 6 rounds here.